Today's topic is travel insurance. Stay tuned for details.
Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're embarking on a journey into something incredibly practical, something that can truly transform your travel experience from anxious to assured. Travel insurance. We've pored over a truly insightful piece titled The Traveler's Shield, Why Insurance Matters. It's a source that cuts straight to the heart of why this often overlooked aspect of planning a trip is, well, so profoundly crucial. Our mission today, to unpack these insights, offering you a shortcut to understanding not just what travel insurance is, but how it fundamentally works and why it's far more than just another piece of paper. It's essentially buying peace of mind for your trip. Whether you're traveling for that long-awaited vacation, a critical business meeting, or an important family matter. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's fascinating here is how clearly the source lays out the foundational reasons for considering this kind of protection. It goes beyond just like a checklist item. It's not really about dwelling on worst-case scenarios, but more about empowering you, our listener, to be proactively prepared. This deep dive will help you quickly grasp the essential protections and considerations. We want to transform what might seem like a dry, complex topic into truly actionable knowledge for your next adventure.
Okay, so if travel insurance is about this concept of peace of mind, where does that peace of mind actually come from? The source breaks it down into 5 key areas, and the first one is an absolute game changer, especially for anyone traveling internationally. Here's where it gets really interesting. Imagine you're thousands of miles from home, somewhere unfamiliar, and bam, you're facing a medical emergency. What does the Traveler's Shield tell us about this critical first benefit?
Well, the source is unequivocally clear on this. One of the biggest blind spots for travelers. It's the assumption that their home health insurance will cover them abroad. For many people, that's simply not true, or coverage is severely limited. And medical costs in many countries, particularly, say, the U.S., if you're visiting, can be astronomical, just massive. We're talking about a basic ER visit potentially costing thousands, or a serious hospitalization running into tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wow, hundreds of thousands.
Exactly. And the Traveler's Shield specifically highlights that travel insurance is designed to bridge this exact gap. It steps in to cover emergency treatment, hospital stays, and perhaps most critically, medical evacuation, getting you back home or to a better facility. That alone, without coverage, can easily top $100,000.
$100,000. I mean, that's not just a budget hiccup. That's potentially life-altering for most people. So what about the nuances here? Does it cover absolutely everything? Are there specific situations where travelers might still find themselves, exposed?
That really raises an important question for anyone venturing outside their home country. Are you truly prepared for those unforeseen medical costs? The source reminds us that while policies are comprehensive, they do have specific definitions, right? Emergency treatment is covered, yes, but things like elective procedures or routine checkups, typically not. It also gets into the crucial topic of pre-existing conditions. Now, many policies exclude conditions you had before buying the insurance, or they might offer limited coverage after a specific waiting period.
Ah, okay.
But some premium policies offer waivers for that if you purchase early enough, something to look for. Another aspect the source touches on is high-risk activities. So if your idea of a vacation involves, rock climbing or deep-sea diving.
Adventure stuff, yeah.
Exactly. You'll want to double-check. Your policy specifically includes coverage for those types of adventure sports, as they're often standard exclusions. It really comes down to understanding the fine print, not just the big headlines.
Right, makes sense.
Okay, so beyond unexpected health issues, which, can be terrifying, another major concern for travelers is simply what happens if your carefully planned trip just falls apart before you even leave, or worse, mid-trip. We've all had that nagging worry about cancellations or interruptions, right? This is where the second core benefit comes in, offering a totally different kind of financial safeguard.
Absolutely. And the source clearly states that if you have to cancel or cut your trip short due to what are termed covered reasons, you can get reimbursed for those prepaid, non-refundable expenses. Now, covered reasons, that's a really critical term. It often trips people up. It's not cancel for any reason.
Okay, good distinction.
Typically, these include things like a sudden illness or injury to you, or maybe a close family member, a death in the family, unexpected job loss, severe weather that stops travel, or even something like a sudden jury duty summons.
And what about that cancel for any reason coverage? Because, that sounds like the ultimate safety net. Is that something the Traveler's Shield recommends? So the source clarifies that cancel for any reason, or CFAR as it's often called, is usually an upgrade. It does allow you to cancel your trip for pretty much any reason. Not typically listed in a standard policy, maybe buyer's remorse, a change of plans, or just, not feeling like going anymore. However, it's quite a bit more expensive. You often need to buy it very early in your trip planning, maybe within a couple of weeks of your first payment. And this is key. It typically only reimburses a percentage of your non-refundable costs, usually somewhere between 50% and 75%.
Not the full amount like standard cancellation for a covered reason.
Exactly. Standard cancellation can be 100% for those covered reasons. So that distinction is vital when you're thinking about protecting your investment.
Think about those non-refundable flights, prepaid cruise fares, hotel bookings you can't get back, or those special tours that's often a significant financial investment at stake. Losing all that money because of something unexpected, it's just gut-wrenching, isn't it? This coverage offers a way to mitigate that risk.
Totally. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this coverage isn't just about getting your money back. It's really about safeguarding the financial investment you've poured into your travel plans against unpredictable life events. It's a shield for your wallet, essentially, when life throws a curveball, whether it's a personal emergency or some unforeseen event impacting your destination.
Which means you don't have to choose between losing potentially thousands of dollars and traveling when it's genuinely unsafe or impossible.
Precisely. It allows you to make the right decision for your health, your safety, or for family matters without that added massive burden of financial ruin. It transforms a potentially disastrous situation into, a recoverable one.
Okay, moving from the big, expensive emergencies to something maybe more common, but definitely no less frustrating. Luggage woes. The source touches on this common travel nightmare, something I think most of us have either experienced firsthand or definitely worried about. You arrive, ready for adventure, only to watch the baggage carousel go round and round, and your suitcase is just nowhere to be found.
Oh, indeed. The source points out that airlines misplace luggage, more often than we'd probably like to admit. The statistics show millions of bags are mishandled every year. And while most are eventually found, a significant number get lost or stolen permanently. What's critical here, and the source points this out, is that airline liability for lost or delayed luggage is often limited. There are international treaties like the Montreal Convention that can cap compensation way below the actual value of your belongings.
Really? How much are we talking?
For instance, the limit for international flights is often around, say, $750 per bag. That's it. Regardless of whether you had expensive gear or just clothes inside.
Wow, okay, so that fancy camera or laptop might not be fully covered by the airline at all?
Not necessarily, no. And this is where travel insurance steps up, right? The deep dive material shows that it can really make a difference beyond what the airline offers. Well, travel insurance can compensate you for lost or stolen belongings, often up to a higher limit than the airline's cap. More immediately, though, and this is a huge relief when it happens, it can provide funds to buy essentials while your bags are just delayed. Imagine being stuck in, a cold city without your coat, or somewhere warm without swimwear, or even worse, without essential medications or contact lenses.
Oh yeah, that would be awful.
The insurance can cover those immediate purchases. Toiletries, a change of clothes, maybe medication refills, until your bags hopefully arrive or are officially declared lost.
That immediately reduces the stress, doesn't it? It's not just about getting money back weeks later, it's about solving an immediate practical problem right then and there. I've heard stories of people having to wear the same clothes for days while waiting. That definitely doesn't add to the vacation vibe.
Not at all. This benefit isn't just about replacing items. It's really about reducing that immediate stress and inconvenience when you're far from home. It helps smooth over a potentially miserable experience and lets you actually get on with your trip without scrambling for basics or worrying about spending a fortune just to be comfortable. And some policies, the source notes, even include specific coverage for sporting equipment, which is a massive relief if you're going on like a ski trip or a diving excursion with expensive gear.
Good point. Okay, speaking of inconveniences, let's talk about those maddening travel delays and missed connections. They can derail an entire itinerary. We've all been there, right? Stuck in an airport, watching the clock tick, wondering if you'll ever make it to your destination or catch that connecting flight. What does the Traveler's Shield say about how insurance addresses this universal frustration?
Yeah, this is a big one. The source notes that travel insurance can provide really vital relief during these super frustrating situations. It often covers extra costs for things like accommodation, meals, or rebooking fees if your flight gets significantly delayed or canceled due to covered reasons. Think severe weather, airline mechanical issues, strikes, that sort of thing, stuff beyond your control. Critically, though, policies usually specify a minimum delay period before the coverage kicks in. It might be 3 hours, 6 hours, sometimes even 12. That's an important detail for travelers to check in their policy.
Right, but knowing it's there means less scrambling to find a last-minute, probably overpriced hotel or paying out of pocket for an unexpected night in some random airport city, especially if it means missing subsequent connections or maybe the start of a cruise or tour. It's about easing the burden of those unforeseen hiccups, turning a major headache into, hopefully, just a minor inconvenience that someone else helps you manage. I can't imagine how many hours of stress that saves.
It truly does. It allows you to focus on adapting to the situation rather than panicking about the escalating costs or the nightmare logistics of rearranging everything on the fly. And it often extends beyond just flights. The source highlights that it can cover missed connections for cruises or tours, too, if the initial delay was due to a covered reason. So it might reimburse you for those lost days on your expensive cruise or help cover the cost of catching up to your tour group somewhere down the line. This isn't just a convenience, it's a strategic benefit that keeps your whole travel investment from potentially unraveling because of one unexpected delay.
Okay, and finally, wrapping all these specific protections together. The source talks about something broader but incredibly valuable. The overarching peace of mind in emergencies. It sounds like it's about more than just money changing hands. It's about having a real safety net, a human touch for the unpredictable side of travel.
That's exactly right. Some policies go quite a bit further than just financial reimbursement. They include crucial 24/7 emergency assistance services. What this means is you're not alone when you're trying to navigate a crisis in an unfamiliar place. You might be dealing with language barriers, or simply not knowing local customs, or where on earth to turn for help. This aspect is often described as having like a global concierge service just for emergencies.
So what kind of concrete help are we talking about? Can you give us some examples from the source material?
Sure. Think about being able to call a hotline, maybe toll-free, where someone fluent in multiple languages can help you find a reputable doctor or hospital in a foreign country. They might even be able to arrange for direct billing with the hospital, if possible, so you don't have to pay up front. Or say your passport gets stolen, a complete nightmare scenario. They can guide you through the process of contacting your embassy, getting temporary documents, basically navigating that whole stressful process.
That would be incredibly helpful.
Absolutely. They could also assist with things like legal referrals if you need a lawyer, arranging emergency cash transfers if your wallet's gone, or even helping coordinate emergency transport back home if a medical issue means you can't fly commercially. This kind of comprehensive support really embodies that peace of mind promise of travel insurance. It extends far beyond just a simple payout. It's like having a knowledgeable friend on call 24/7, no matter where you are in the world, ready to offer practical, real-time help during a crisis.
So what does this all mean for you, the traveler listening right now? Our deep dive into the Traveler's Shield really crystallizes the value of travel insurance, doesn't it? From covering those potentially crippling medical bills abroad to salvaging your entire trip investment from cancellations, lost luggage, or those frustrating delays, it truly is about securing that elusive peace of mind for your travels. It's about being prepared so you can actually enjoy your experience without that nagging background anxiety of what could go wrong, just knowing you have a solid safety net for the unexpected.
Ultimately, yeah. This deep dive shows us that understanding travel insurance isn't about expecting the worst or being pessimistic. It's about being strategically prepared for, well, pretty much anything that might come your way on the road. It's about being an informed traveler who values not just the excitement of the destination, but also the security and resilience of the journey itself. Maybe the biggest question this raises for you, listening now, is what does true travel preparation really mean to you? Beyond just packing your bags, checking your passport, and booking your flights, are you truly prepared for the unseen variables of travel?
Food for thought, definitely. We hope this deep dive has provided you with clarity and maybe a bit more confidence for your next adventure. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.